Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to just take a short call on a few points. Firstly, I'm heartened by looking at Part 1 in terms of the purpose of the bill to protect the interests of consumers in connection with credit contracts and consumer leases, etc. I'm also heartened by the fact that in Part 1A, the bill now installs a responsible lending code. And the reason being, sir, is that the previous ministers prior to this minister all heard this from the community. In the range of community meetings up and down this country after they became government, in the 2011 election, during that period, this was a unanimous view throughout the community that they wanted this protection. So I'm heartened that finally, after this long period of time, that this has happened. I also want to acknowledge the Minister because I'm heartened by what he said earlier in the recognition that there are certain communities, certain sectors of our community who are targeted by those in this industry who this bill is meant to harness their predatory nature. So I want to thank the Minister. But I also want to acknowledge my colleague Carol Beaumont because she has been quite vigilant and in the pursuit of ensuring that we do arrive at this stage, although she has been very focused on capping interest. The other thing, sir, I do want to put on record that I'm quite angry that despite the evidence of our communities stating quite clearly the need for consumer protection in the credit contract industry, that it's taken this long. And the thing, sir, this is an ambulance at the bottom of the cliff approach. The approach that we ought to be taking, because this industry really targets the very vulnerable in our communities. And the very vulnerable in our communities, sir, are generally on low wages. And so when I say it is at the end of I think what we ought to be doing, if we're serious about being long-term, providing long-term solutions, is that we also need to ensure that our economy enables people to have good jobs, higher incomes to support themselves. If people on low incomes are unable to sustain their families on the incomes that they are earning, sir, this is what happens to them. They, in desperation, end up borrowing money, end up going to the pokie machines, and that's now become a pattern for many on low income, sir, because of the way that our economy over the years has seemed to be embracing a low-income economy, sir, and I just think that is wrong. The other factor, sir, that I hope that this bill addresses is the complicated way that some of these contracts are written up, recognising, sir, that in this country of ours, that the thing to do, if we're really serious about protecting consumers, then we have to simplify the process, sir, so that people know exactly what they're buying, know exactly what they have to pay in terms of interest and any other penalties. But I think we also need to curb the amount of penalty fees that some in this industry seem to just get away with it. And there's been just too many families in our community, sir, that end up out of desperation using these services and either losing their homes, losing whatever valuables they may have, and ending up in family breakups. So the point I'm making, sir, yep, absolutely welcome the change of attitude in terms of this bill. I do believe, though, as some have said, and in their intention to introduce supplementary order papers, that I think the government needs to take seriously that if there is a sector of our community who are not protected, and if we do not provide that protection, sir, what sort of a country are we building? And I just commend the Minister, finally, after his other colleagues just seemed to have pretended to listen but didn't do anything about it, commend the fact that listening to his remarks earlier today, I'm heartened by what he said.
Mr. Chairman.
Paul Foster-Bell.
I move that the question be now put.
Mr. Chair.
The question is that the question be now put. Those of that opinion will say aye. Contrary, no. The ayes have it. Party vote. The clerk will conduct a party vote.
New Zealand National.
59 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
34 votes opposed.
Green Party.
Votes in favour.
New Zealand First.
7 votes opposed.
Maori Party.
3 votes in favour.
Mana.
1 in favour.
ACT New Zealand.
1 vote in favour.
United Future.
1 vote in favour.
Brendan Horan. Any other votes?
Doesn't add up. 79, I think. 79. The ayes are 79, the noes are 42. The questions will now be put. There are a number of amendments and we will deal with them chronologically. In the first amendments, the Minister's amendment set out on SOP number 442. The question is the Minister's amendments be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Contrary, no. The ayes have it. We move to Te Ururoa Flavel's amendment set out on SOP number 445. The question is that that amendment be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Contrary, no. Noes have it. Party vote. The clerk will conduct a party vote.
New Zealand National.
59 votes opposed.
New Zealand Labour.
32 votes in favour.
Green Party.
14 votes in favour.
New Zealand First.
7 votes in favour.
Maori Party.
3 votes in favour.
Mana.
1 vote in favour.
ACT New Zealand.
1 vote opposed.
United Future.
1 vote opposed.
Brendan Horan.
Favour.
Any other votes?
The ayes are 58, the noes are 61. The amendment is not agreed to. We move to Carol Beaumont's amendment set out on SOP number 430. The question is that those amendments be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Contrary, no. Noes have it. Party vote. The clerk will conduct a party vote.
New Zealand National.
59 votes opposed.
New Zealand Labour.
32 votes in favour.
Green Party.
14 votes in favour.
New Zealand First.
7 votes in favour.
Maori Party.
3 votes in favour.
Mana.
1 vote in favour.
ACT New Zealand.
1 vote opposed.
United Future.
1 vote opposed.
Brendan Horan.
1 vote in favour.
The ayes 58, the noes 61. The amendment is not agreed to. We move to Carol Beaumont's amendment sent out on SOP number 431. The question is that that amendment be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. Contrary, no. Noes have it. Party vote. The clerk will conduct a party vote.
New Zealand National.
59 votes opposed.
New Zealand Labour.
32 votes in favour.
Green Party.
14 in favour.
New Zealand First.
7 votes in favour.
Maori Party.
3 votes in favour.
Mana.
1 vote in favour.
Act New Zealand.
1 vote opposed.
United Future.
1 vote opposed.
Parties of no.
That's right.
Brendan Horan.
1 vote in favour.
Any other votes?
The ayes are 58, the noes are 61. The amendment is not agreed to. The question now is that Part 1, as amended, stand part. Those of that opinion will say aye. Contrary, no. The ayes have it. The question now is that Part 2 stand part. A point of order, Carol Bowman.
Point of order, Mr Speaker. I would like to correct our voting record for the closure motion and correct that to 32 votes opposed. Seek leave to do that, Mr
You're seeking
Chair.
leave to
Yes.
amend. Leave is sought for that purpose. Is there anyone opposed to that course of action? Appears not. The record will be amended. So the question now is that Part 2 stand part. Dr. David Clark.
Mr Chair, I stand to take this call to debate the aspects that are in Part